only the best pilots get to fly fighter jets. They're called Top Guns. Intelligent, super fit, highly trained men and women.
I get paid to do this. This is an awesome job.
They're at the front line in defense of the nation, flying some of the most awesome and lethal aircraft ever built. They are prepared for war. The F-A-18 Hornet. F stands for fighter, A for attack. It has 2 tails, 2 engines, with 9 weapon stations carrying bombs for ground targets and missiles for ships and enemy aircraft. The cannon in the nose fires 100 high explosive shells per second, each as powerful as a grenade. The Hornet can fly 5,000 kilometers on 1 load of fuel, much further with mid-air refueling. Its top speed is more than 2,000 kilometers an hour. Bo Pitcher will get to the Melbourne cricket ground 300 kilometres away in only 12 minutes.
We carry a weapon because if you eject into a river or something up here, then it's just for self-protection against crocs, buffalo, things like that.
Kartik Maharaj, call sign Tick, is 22 years old.
Basically, they've given me a tub today, which is a 2-seater. Not much room to move. You're strapped in fairly tightly to the ejection seat, and there is an explosive charge. So when you initiate the firing sequence, the canopy will be pushed back to unlock all the hooks, and then will be blown with the explosive charge up and clear of the aircraft. Trigger on the front for your missiles and for your gun pack as well. That under your left thumb's the air-to-air weapon select switch, so you can cycle through different weapons, and got a red pickle button for bombs and rockets.
Tick is preparing his Hornet for an international operation in Malaysia. But at the last minute, the air-to-air refueler and troop carrier is diverted.
Our tank has been recalled to do other duties.
Now, the maintenance crew is stranded in Australia. And with the Hornets grounded in Asia, the air crew makes do.
That looks good.
Also on Real Top Guns.
We're too far, we need to get him.
Day 1 at fighter pilot school.
Now, these young fellas come to us highly motivated. They think they're the best of the best, but we're going to make them sweat.
So 1,006.
Australian combat pilots are among the best in the world. They are real Top Guns. An FA-18 Hornet can fly from Australia to Malaysia in just 4 hours. But it's an aircraft designed for extreme action, like its pilots. In the cramped cockpit of a fighter jet, a transcontinental flight is tough. A 22-year-old Australian Hornet pilot, Kartik Maharaj, call sign Tick, is on his first overseas mission.
Malaysia. Malaysia, how good. It's a long, hot, sweaty flight, sitting on a hard buddy seat. Your legs going to sleep, but finally good to be in Malaysia with a nice colour.
The rookies learn combat flying in a British Aerospace Hawk 127. The cockpit's most useful tool is the head-up display, called the HUD. Critical information, like G-forces, is projected onto glass in front of the pilot. The HUD also provides the gun sight.
There, now we're going to try and kill him, okay? Yep. Get it on, pull it on. Now! Let's go! Sight! Just missed it. We're too far, we need to get him. Look at the effective placement. Come around the corner. Are we getting inside it? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. to engage defensive. 12,006. 6. Great shot, terminate.
It's always good to get airborne, isn't it?
On real Top Guns. Hornet pilot Kartik Maharaj on war games in Malaysia. The mission: sink some ships.
Yeah, not much chance of getting shot down. The Navy couldn't hit us if I tried.
And at fighter pilot school,
Now! Let's go! Straight! Just missed it!
student Shauno is under fire. If he fails this flight, it's the end of his dream to be a real Top Gun. Fighter pilots call this a 5-ship. 5 FA-18 Hornets with a job to do. The jets are from Australia's 75 Squadron, a combat unit on a multi-nation exercise out of Malaysia's Butterworth Air Force Base.
So we'll take off out of Butterworth. We'll track.
75 Squadron has a legendary place in Australia's history. In World War II, with 76 Squadron, pilots in P-40 Kitty Hawks held back the Japanese Imperial Army attacking Milne Bay in New Guinea. Many of the pilots had dysentery, but fought on.
They're flying wearing nothing other than a helmet and a pair of boots, like they're just not a shred of clothing on, because it's just, it's just running at them all the time. And they're taking off, and then at night, of course, no one can fly at night, not even the Japanese, so at night they're manning gun pits.
Learn how to drop bombs.
Frequency 32 metres, 6 o'clock.
Oh, that's not good.
Any of them may come unstuck.
I can't see a bloody thing.
Also on real Top Guns, women in uniform,
Right, let me show you up into my office.
flying the awesome F111 high-speed bomber.
Nice and cosy.
But at up to 3,000 kilometres an hour, blowing up ships is not as easy as it looks. Australian combat pilots are among the best in the world. They are real Top Guns. It's 7 a.m. 22-year-old Air Combat Officer Zaylee Munro Rustian reports for duty.
I'm an F111 navigator with 1 Squadron at RAAF Amberley. I'm a weapons systems specialist as well as a bit of a co-pilot. Morning.
Oh, morning, ma'am. Thanks very much. Have a good day.
I love my job. It's one of the best offices I reckon you could imagine.
Zaylee spends much of her day in the cockpit of one of the most high-powered attack bombers ever built. Ejecting from the plane is ruled out. It's always the last resort. The decision to go for a belly landing without wheels.
We then proceeded to have a couple of goes without the hook down, so just low flying, right on top of the runway there, trying to get as low as we can to get a feel for it. We needed to get down around the sort of 10 or 11, preferably maybe 7 or 6 feet. Finally, we decided that we're down to a position now where we needed to have a go with the hook down.
The F111 has a retractable hook under its tail, which grabs a brake line on the runway if a high-speed takeoff is aborted. Maybe the hook will slow down the incoming jet.
We didn't get low enough on that first one and set up again for another go. We actually felt the cable dragging in the dirt. We could actually feel it make contact. We'd skidded to a halt. We knew we had to get away from the jet because obviously there's a risk of fire. There's plenty of metal in contact with the runway. We had about 3,000 litres of fuel, which is pretty explosive, sitting on board. In fact, just sort of behind us here, and some big fuel tanks. So we didn't want to be around with the potential of that catching on fire.
Absolutely stoked, and RAAF to have pretty much walked away from the situation with not a scratch. So yeah, very, very, very happy.
At the end of the day, one of the most inexperienced F111 pilots made a copybook ending of an abnormal situation that nobody had ever seen before. That in itself is absolute proof that our training, the people we've got in place...
And then he got scrambled the very moment he walked in the building, so he's actually just walked in and he's gone. So he's going to be either airborne in 15 minutes.
We are England in the Battle of Britain. We're defending home country and we are being attacked.
We're on alert 3.
When they do that, that's the whole, right from the Battle of Britain, the run to the aircraft, jump in, get it going, and we'll be raising the gear, the flaps, turning on upwind, be shooting missiles at people within 2 minutes of getting airborne.
The attacking Germans are played by pilots from other squadrons. Eastie is helping organise the offensive.
They should be hair on fire, pulling G, fighting each other. Finding out who's the best, as they say.
The intense air exercise at high speed brings an element of danger. On real Top Guns.
Threat, Western at 3414 heavy.
Ace Australian pilots gather for the biggest war game of the year.
Mission today is an extraction of blue forces from the Delamere Range area.
Squadrons of F111s. Swarms of Hornets. All fighting for the same prize.
Anything low and fast is definitely bad and it's out to get us.
The slowest troop carrier in the Air Force is at the centre of the action. One team must protect it, the other must kill it.
If we just find it and shoot it down, we're done.
At stake are the hopes and dreams of the most elite combat flyers in the Air Force. Australia's fighter pilots are among the best in the world.